Hello, my name is Mackin. Tonight I'm going to be telling you a story. And this is my friend Rebecca, and she's going to be telling you a story. On the acoustic bass. Some of you are thinking, Mackin, why are you dressed like a hipster that wandered into the maternity section at Target and made some ill-advised purchases? Well, one, because I look fly as fuck. Two, because last night I burned my testicles with a hot cup of elderflower tea. This is that bag of tea.
Whoa.
It currently looks more like testicles than my actual testicles. I'm gonna pass that around.
TMI. Don't touch it.
That actually did not touch my testicles. So we're gonna do this Tarantino style. You kind of know like the climax. Basically, I went hiking with my two friends, James and Cameron, two lovely British gentlemen. It was very polite. We were hiking, we were saying, oh, what it is to be alive. You know, the sun was setting, the empty Greek theater was to our right. It really was something to behold, you know? And then we say, why don't we have a couple of points? And I was like, sure. And then we go to Birds on Franklin, because we're up by the Greek theater. I have one too many beers. I say, hey guys, I shan't be driving in this condition. You gotta use old-fashioned contractions when you're with the Brits. And I say, let's fucking Uber home. And they're like, chill. And so I'm 2 pints deep, which for me might as well be 1,000 pints deep. So what I end up doing is going to the Bourgeois Pig. Does anybody know this cafe by the UCB Theater? No. Check it out, it's real. Anyways, fucking skeptic over there. Who the fuck is that? No, I call bullshit on that existing. Yelp it, motherfucker. So basically, I go in there, and I like to drink decaf coffee because I have anxiety and I like the taste of coffee. Yeah, dude. Everyone has those death before decaf shirts. Fuck that shit. Like, yeah. Same. So I go in there because I'm like, yo, can I get a decaf Americano, please, to go? And they're like, sure. And then I reach in my bag, and I remember, I'm feeling around, I feel something, I go, is this a fucking condom? And then I go, oh wait, no it's not. It's a Trader Joe's green tea packet. Which has happened to me before, where I'm like, it feels so similar in your pocket, it's such a fake out. Hashtag, this is 40, starring Paul Rudd. Anyways, I say, hey, can I have a cup of hot water so I can make this cup of tea? And they're like, dude, unfortunately not. We're gonna have to charge you for a full cup of tea. And he's like, do you want to try one of our cups of teas? And that way you could just save yours for later. And I was like, sure, dude, that sounds fucking sick. And then he goes, here are our teas. And he's walking me through and he goes, we have this one very special elderflower tea. And I'm wearing a jacket that I got when I was farming in Ireland. And when I was farming there was this wonderful Dutch woman named Bibi who made me elderflower wine that she picked herself. And so I was going, holy shit, it's meant to fucking be. Lo and behold, I did not know. You know, smash cut to my balls on fire. Anyways, flashback to me ordering the... Can we get the audio interpretation of my balls on fire from Rebecca again?
Oh, no.
Nope, that was it. Let me tell you guys. Fuck yeah. Give it up. That's a true artist right there. There's no score when you're in the emergency room and your balls are sizzling and looks like pizza pie. Anyways, so this guy goes elderflower and I was like, yo dude, do you sell the loose leaf tea? And he was like, no dude. And I was like, well, will you have some if I come back tomorrow? He goes, honestly, probably not, man. This is a really special tea. This guy's fucking selling this shit to me. And I'm like, hook me up with a cup of that tea, man. I just got paid that week. I picked up the tab for the pints. I was like fucking flying high in the friendly sky. I was living like a fat cat. It was gluttony, the 7th deadly sin. And so I'm like, you know, fucking throw in a pumpkin loaf, man. And he goes, hey, you got a lot of things to carry. Would you like a tray? To which I said, fuck no! Hubris. Is that one of the deadly sins? Don't know. Maybe my friend over here that's fact checking me can look it up. I love you. So I fucking go into the back of the lift and we're just fucking chilling, you know, we're like talking, and we're like listening to Bach, apparently. And there's was a bump in the road, and I had the 2 drinks on. By the way, I'm wearing these really, really tiny yoga shorts that I bought because I had a crush on a girl who invited me to yoga class. I had never been to a yoga class. I show up in like fucking jeans. I'm like, yeah, what's this yoga shit? And they're like, hey, you actually need a proper yoga attire. It's like a hot yoga class. So I have to buy the like fancy ass yoga equipment at the place. $85 for these fucking yoga shorts. So I kept them out of spite. That was a very similar sound to my balls being on fire. That was a metaphorical equivalent to my balls being on fire.
Wow.
So I bought these shorts and I've worn them out of spite because I'm like, if I paid $85 fucking for these shorts, I'm gonna wear them every goddamn opportunity I get. So they're great for hiking, you know. I'm like going up and down. I'm like, wow, fuck, so good at hiking. Not great for scalding hot elderflower tea. So basically, there's just a bump in the road, and I'm like 2 pints deep or whatever, and I just like, I don't think the drunkenness really affected anything. I just fucking like spilled the tea. Boom, just all over my fucking nuts. Here's the thing, I'm such a self-deprecating, insecure piece of shit that like I don't want to bother the people around me, so I'm like suppressing my massive screams, like the most pain I've ever felt in my life, and I'm just like and these really, really polite British guys, like after about 10 minutes of me wriggling and writhing and the music's blasting, this guy they go like, you're right, man. And I was like, I'm actually in so much pain, you guys. And they're like, do you need medical attention? And I was like, no, I'm cool. I don't know why I was trying to be a tough guy at this point in time. But anyways, after about 5-10 minutes, I said, excuse me, sir, I'm so sorry. I actually spilled a little bit of tea in your car. Meanwhile, ball's on fire. He goes like, yes. And he goes, oh, is there any, did you damage my car? And I was like, no, I'll pay for it. If there is any damage, we'll have to check it. Time is going, we're stuck in fucking traffic on the 110 South, like I'm losing my mind. I said like, sir, can you pull over at your earliest convenience? I think I'm actually going to throw up because I'm in so much physical pain. And he goes like, oh, are you serious? So he doesn't even get all the way off the freeway. He's like on the exit ramp. We're about to turn left onto Vermont on the 110. And so I fucking book out. I fucking like, there's like wood chips on the side of the road, which is a hilarious design decision that somebody made. Like the public planners were like, we'll do wood chips, that'll be nice, it'll be low maintenance. I'm like, nobody will have to throw up there. It'll be good. So I go and I just like puke my brains out and my balls are just sizzling. And this homeless guy that's like asking for money, he goes like, oh man, are you alright? And I was like, no dude. And he goes, you don't have like a cigarette, do you? And I was like, no, dude! So my good friends come running out, and I call 911, and I'm hobbling down the side of the road, and they're like, what's your emergency? And I was like, where do I start? And so I like tell them the whole story, I tell them where I am. I'm sitting at Chevron, I'm just like dancing around, and there's this guy in a fucking leather jacket smoking a cigarette. I'm describing my situation to my British friends, the ambulance is on the way, and this guy goes, you're gonna want to put some cold water on your balls. like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, really, like, casually, just like, amateur. I was like, cool, dude. Anyways, I did that. So I go into the bathroom, I rip my $85 yoga shorts off, and there's just like, just flesh, just like, off of my balls, and you can just see it. And it's just like, yeah. I'm telling you guys. This is an improvement. This is the after picture that I'm going for.
Oh my god.
And so the fire department knocks on the door and they say, hey, how you doing in there, sir? I say, good, how are you? I'm trying to make myself laugh, but also I'm so worried about everyone around me. I'm like apologizing to the people in the gas station. I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. I have to cut the bathroom line. My balls are melting off. And so they come in, I put my shorts back on, I put a little water on there, they go, hey sir, do you have any pre-existing medical conditions? I say depression, but I don't see how that's relevant at this point in time. And then before we get into the ambulance, I say to my friend James, I say like, dude, I can really hit those high notes now, so don't even worry about it. That's how they used to make castratis back in the day. I know I got some vocal majors here, it's some real shit. Anyways, so they say, sir, is it on your testicles, your penis, what's going on? And I was like, we're all gonna find out together, my friends. So we get in the car, we go to the ambulance, you know. I walk in, I have a cloth like draped over my knees. I'm on a gurney, I'm being wheeled in like I'm giving birth, and there's some cops chilling in the emergency room, and I look at them, I go, I'm crowning, fellas. Got a little chuckle out of them. And so the firefighter says like, all right, I'm taking off, man. I was like, tell my story! And he was like, I can't tell your story, it's a violation of the Hippocratic Oath. And then he walked away. And then, so I was sitting there waiting for morphine for like an hour and a half. Just my balls were just on fire, guys. And so they come over, they have to get the insurance, and fucking thank God, Obamacare, I'm still on my parents' health insurance.
Yeah.
So I was able to, fucking, not today, Donald Trump, you're gonna have to get my nuts another day. Sorry, bitch. Yeah. Anyways, I get the fucking morphine, and there's this wonderful man named Ismail that had to coat my balls in like fucking anti-burn cream. I get a shot of morphine. I've also never had opiates before, and I have a serious history in my family of like hardcore drug addiction, so I was just like, this is weird. I totally get it. It was fucking sick. All my existential anxiety bullshit melted away with the skin of my testicles.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there, and there's this homeless guy that's rifling through people's shit, and he goes, is this yours? And there's a box of stuff, and I was like, no, it's not mine. Going back to being high as fuck on morphine and like watching fucking Over the Garden Wall on the Hulu app on my phone. Shouts out. And this guy starts taking shit. He's walking around with a Halloween mask, and I'm a little loopy, but I was like, that wasn't that guy's stuff. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. And then there's this woman, and they're referring to her as Miss Jones, and she's clearly like got some medical issue. I don't know what's going on with her, but she's screaming in pain, and she's very disoriented. And so they get me all stitched up. The doctor says there's no nerve damage, and I look the doctor right in the eye. I say, Doc, is my pee-pee gonna work good? And he says, yeah, you're totally fine, man. Biggest thing is risk of infection. You're totally gonna be good. So basically, I hear the woman screaming from before that she was trapped in the hallway, and she was like, my sweater got stolen. Somebody stole my sweater. And I was like, oh, fuck. I totally watched that fucking guy steal that fucking lady's sweater. You know the scene in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie where he gets ripped off by the fucking wrestling people, and he lets the guy go in the elevator, and then that guy kills his fucking uncle? I was like, oh, shit! I feel so bad, and she's screaming. She goes, it's all I had in this world was this sweater! And I'm just like, oh, fucking shit. So I go up to her after I get my balls shit figured out, and I'm like waiting for my mom to come pick me up. And I go up to her and I say like, man, like all I have are like these $7, like I feel really bad, like hope you can get like a new sweater. And the people in the hospital didn't believe her. They thought she was crazy because she was homeless and she was suffering somehow, and she was messed up on something, but she wasn't crazy. And I know what it's like to not feel heard and have people think that you're fucking crazy. And there was a camera right there, and she kept saying, check the cameras, and they kept saying like, calm down, miss, you know? And so I like straightened it out, and so I like got to like the hospital, like believed her, and then like the nurse like gave her some money, and then like my mom shut up and gave her some money, and my mom like has money. So that was sick. But before I was just talking to this woman, and she was saying like, after she realized that she wasn't crazy and she was able to like feel heard, she was like, yo, maybe that guy needed that sweater more than I did, you know? And then she was like, one time I got my shoes stolen. She's not wearing shoes at this point in time, but she was saying like, then I saw the guy who stole them the next day. And I was like, I think that guy needed them more than I did. And I was like, literally everything that this woman owned was in a box beside her, and she was saying like, she was thinking about somebody else, you know? I'm like, here I am, like, University of fucking shitty children, whatever. And I was just like, my balls hurt. And so I apologized to her, because I realized that I was talking very loudly on my cell phone about my balls being off, and she just goes, oh, I heard you. So I go home. This woman, it was kind of like a spiritual lesson because there was truly nothing I could do. And had I been by myself and not with my sweet friends, I probably would have done nothing. And so it's like good to know like to accept help when you need help. And everyone at the hospital was like working as hard as they could, and I just had to sit there and just be like, this was an accident, nobody did this to me. I have so many internal wounds that I feel like responsible for and have so much shame carried around them that you're like, is this even a wound? Is it my fault? I'm a piece of shit. And it's really nice when a cup of tea accidentally gets spilled on your balls because you're just like, well, this just happened. There's nothing I can do about it. And after I got the morphine, I was chilling. My mom picks me up. She's drunk. She got like an Uber X or something to like come pick me up. We're like going to the 24-hour pharmacy to get all the proper medication. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna come in, Mom. And she was like, no, you're not. You're high on morphine. I was like, you're drunk on wine, bitch. Because I had like the hospital blanket like wrapped around me. She's like, you're not going in like that. I was like, first of all, it's Halloween. There's so many people dressed up in way scantier clad outfits than me, including me 2 nights before. I cross-dress all the time on stage. I was way more covered up than usual. Anyways, it was very humbling to have your mother literally like wipe the burn wounds off of your own penis.
Oh,
because the way that the angle is like, I couldn't apply the bandages myself, you know? And I would just be like, this is definitely #1 most awkward time to get a boner if I had gotten a boner in that situation. I was just thinking to myself, like, that would be the worst. You know? And then my mom was like drunk, so she was like applying the bandages and shit, and she was like, she bumped one of the blisters on my balls, and I was like, Mom, watch out for my balls! And she looked at me dead in the eye, she goes, I know what balls are, son. And I had to argue with my mom about what balls are and where they are. Anyways, friends, I had a nice day today. I went dress shopping with my mom. I got this outfit that, according to my friend Zachariah, I look like a Spanish monk that's about to sell him fresh coffee off of a donkey. And so while this Halloween, I will be dressing up as a woman from Oregon in her 3rd trimester, my balls will be dressing up as a mummy. Thank you very much, you guys. I'm Mackin Carroll.